Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Daredevil Born Again Episode 9, Straight to Hell. This is the finale of the first season of Daredevil Born Again. Technically, I guess, the fourth season of a Daredevil show, now that all the stuff from Netflix is included. So, we're going to have a spoiler-free part of the video. You can click on the time codes to jump to spoilers, where I'll talk about everything that happened in the episode if you're watching the full video. So let's talk about it. This last episode was super intense. I'm talking about the action, the story, everything that's building up. Great stuff. Charlie Cox, stellar as Daredevil. I mean, I'll talk about some of the other characters when we get to the spoiler, but just you know, the way that Charlie Cox has embraced and embodied and brought this character of Matt Murdock and Daredevil to life to the screen. It is so much fun to see. As a big fan of Daredevil from the comics, a big fan of the original Netflix show, and just overall a fan of Charlie Cox. Like, this is great. It's great to see. And the best part is that on the flip side of this coin, we have Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, Mayor Fisk, Wilson Fisk, however you want to address him, um, just embodying this larger than life character, this character that uh, originally makes you kind of want to root for them, but then you get to see, and as you uncover the layers and you look past the shiny facade, you see that it's a despicable character that will never be able to be reformed. And Kingpin, Fisk is originally a Spidey villain, but I just feel like his relationship, his you know um adversarial nature with Daredevil just brings out the best and the worst of both characters. And this season has really proven that. This last episode has really proven that. There's so much good stuff. We have some of the most brutal action scenes that I've seen in a while, especially for a Disney Plus show, which is pretty wild to say. Um, we have some great music choices as well. Like, I don't normally notice the music, but like there's a few needle drops in here that I was like, I like. And maybe those songs take you out a little bit. To me, they felt like they work with what we were dealing with, the nature, the themes of the show. So it is great. We get to see some recurring characters. We get to see some things being set up for the next season. Now, remember, this show was originally supposed to be just the one season of 18 episodes. Now it's kind of been broken up into two seasons. So there's definitely a lot more coming. Um, this show has done such a good job with embracing the nature of what it is. It's just a small thing, really a bubble of New York in the MCU, and has taken that and just really ran with it. Right, it's utilizing the pacing to its fullest. It's crunching in a lot of things in one place. So there's a little question as to, like, okay, why are other MCU characters not appearing or helping out? Everything's happening so fast. Everything's just uh, it comes out in a way where it's a surprise. And I love that the characters, especially like Kingpin, is always a few moves ahead, because that's really the main advantage he has over Matt, is his resources and the power and the fact that he can operate in the light, whereas Matt and Daredevil is kind of forced to operate in the darkness in more ways than one. So yeah, this is great stuff. So highly recommend you check out this latest episode of Daredevil. I feel overall, as much as this season was a little bit disjointed and we saw some cracks between the seams, or whatever the saying is, uh, it almost feels like when you restore a statue or a piece of art, and although it's not the original intent, it's not the original way it was supposed to look, you still get something out of it, because there's still a lot of really great work that went into repairing and rebuilding that's also a theme of the show, right? Repair, rebuild, and resisting change. So yeah, it is some really great stuff, great performances all around. And then also, I really love the way that things get set up. There is a post credit season. This is the first episode that, if the whole season, that has actually had a post credit. I was surprised when we got to the end and the little thing comes up to skip credits. I knew there was something coming, so make sure to stay all the way till the end to watch. Or luckily, you can just skip the credits and get right to that part. So yeah, make sure to go check this out. If you're stopping here, or if you are not watching the full spoiler video, make sure to go and let me know what you thought about it. This in the comments. Make sure to go check out the full spoiler video, and let's get into spoilers. All right, so we have the fallout from the last episode. Matt gets shot trying to save Fisk from Bullseye's bullet at the big ball. Now Fisk is going to take this opportunity to just really let his plans go. Um, but we get a flashback 1 year ago. Vanessa, she's the one that released Bullseye with some, whatever law technicality, whatever, to put the hit out on Foggy. Matt found that out last episode. It is now confirmed to us, the viewer, that that's what happened. Meanwhile, we see Matt at the hospital, and we also see that Fisk and Vanessa are regrouping their efforts to move their plans forward. I love the way this show just kind of keeps cutting between both stories, right? Because they're both important stories. Both Matt's and Fisk's stories are very important to the idea of the show. This isn't really just Daredevil show. It's also Wilson Fisk. So we kind of keep cutting in and out. It's interesting to take notes like that because they really are running on parallel tracks. Uh, Fisk decides to seal the city and just lets the task force loose on the city. And we now learn that Matt has been marked for death by Fisk, because that'll just kind of help his agenda even more. If the lawyer who saved his life has succumbed to his wounds, he can spin that narrative into a way that gives him more power and gives him, it puts the people behind them, or at least excuses all the things that he's about to do. We see that Buck goes to kill Matt in the cover of this big power outage. All throughout this, a rendition of "Killing Me Softly," I believe that's the name of the song, is playing, which is obviously a little bit on the head, but I really it plays out really well. This version that they found, I don't think it's not the original version that I remember, but it plays out really well within the show. But as Matt escapes from the hospital, because of course he's a few steps ahead of Buck, he knew that he was coming. We get to see that as Matt gets to his house, Frank, the Punisher, Frank Castle, is there waiting for him. Frank mentions that somebody called him. My initial reaction was like, "Oh, it must have been Karen to try to help him out." That is confirmed later on in the episode. So suddenly we have like maybe this kind of escape from New York type of thing, right? The city is sealed by the police, but no, I thought we were gonna have maybe Matt try to get away from the city and regroup for the season, but that's definitely not what happened. Instead, we get the task force going in fully on Matt. So the Kingpin he's not even disguising the fact that he's using this police force to kill any enemies, whether it be political or his adversaries. And we get this really cool Punisher there that will team up. Like, you know, Matt doesn't like the type of help that the Punisher brings sometimes. Also, John Bernthal gives one of the most intense performances. Like the way that he grunts, the way that he lunges at these people, the way that he takes them out in the most savage fashion. It is just so much fun to watch. Yeah, it's great. I love the way that he calls him Red too. Like just yeah, anytime these two are on screen together, Daredevil and Punisher, like this is the stuff that as a comic book fan I just love to see. Even if it gets to a point where it's a little bit on the more ridiculous side, like I love it. I'm here for all that. We then have the confirmation that it was Cole that killed Hector Ayala, the White Tiger, um, and we kind of close that loop. We do get a little flashback to Matt thinking about Hector and it still hits, man. What a That episode was so charged with emotions. We see Karen coming back to pick up the boys after a grenade blows up. They go regroup. Frank stays back. He's kind of done with his task, right? His only task was to maybe help Matt get out of safely. And now that he's with Karen, because she's the one that called him, he feels like he's done. But this is not the end of Frank Castle in this episode. Karen and Matt go to their storage unit to figure out why Vanessa killed Foggy. I do love that. Well, first we get this really nice moment. That's a little Easter egg for the people that watch the Netflix show. We get the avocados of law comes back, and Matt explains, how that came about. But as they're looking for Foggy's file, we see that the the scheme that Fisk is trying to pull is this realty scheme. Like there's some kind of this Red Hook area. It's a free port. It's a whole bunch of mumbo numbo Johnsons. Like I don't think it makes sense as far as like legally in the real world, but just like as part of a comic book villain plan. Like yeah, they love a good realty land deal scheme. Um, so this was their plan all along. So we get the Punisher going to take on the task force after he hears on the radio. He kept one of the radios he hears on the radio where they're grouping, and he's captured after just once again another really bloody, another really intense battle with the task force. He took out a bunch of them, but they do end up capturing him. They bring him back alive because Powell wants to sit face to face with the Punisher to maybe try to entice him to join them, because they very wrongly believe that they are after the same thing. And obviously, as people that have seen the show, people that know the character of the Punisher, we know that's not the case. Um, Sheila also she betrays the commissioner, Gallo, which was I figure she might be the one to try to help bring Fisk down, and she still might be. That might still be the case, but while the Punisher is being taken out, we get intercut scenes of Fisk taking Gallo in, the commissioner, and just like squeezing his head. Like, oh my god! Throughout the whole season, we've been seeing the Fisk getting back to his Kingpin persona. Like, his suit started getting lighter, and until he's now wearing the white coat that we're used to seeing him in the comics, and he's been getting a little bit bigger, especially after those dinners, in front of Adam. Um, the next morning, Fisk, he loves to report into the people, right? He's laying down all his initiatives, um, and we kind of close out with Matt and Ken realizing that they're not going to be able to take on the mayor like this. They're not going to take on the task force like this. They need some help. So as this song "Everything in Its Right Place" starts playing in the background, which once again another great needle drop that I enjoyed. We get to see all the things that are setting up for next season. Matt having a small army of Cherry and some of the other cops like that we have met through the season that we know are not corrupt. They're not part of this task force. They meet at Josie's and we get this really cool shot of from outside the window of just Daredevil in his full outfit with the red light. And then on the other side, we see that Fisk has a small prison of all his political and anybody that's really opposed to him, including Frank Castle. So I'm glad to see that Frank was still alive. And then in the post-credit scene, as the show ends, we see that Punisher talks one of the cops into like shaking his hand, and he takes it from there. We don't see what happens, but I figured that would be maybe how Frank escapes from here, or maybe not. Maybe just kill that dude. I don't know. So this makes me very excited, not only for season 2, but also for that Punisher special feature that it's planned. That's like Marvel's doing these little one-shot things where I would love to see just a maybe a 90-minute Punisher movie, even if it goes straight to Disney Plus, one of those special presentations. So very exciting stuff. A great way to end the season because, like I said, this is only halfway through the journey. The city has definitely been plunged straight into hell with this new initiative from Fisk, and the Kingpin sits now atop his castle, and no pun intended there, and Matt is really on the, he doesn't know how things are gonna play out. So exciting stuff. Really, really cool season. I think, like I said, overall, although not every episode feels as cohesive and perfect, the latter half of the season, where we know that they kind of reworked everything. I think it came out real good. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to next season, where they'll have, a whole cohesive story. They've been having to plan everything out, and I'm very excited to see where the show goes. So yeah, if you watch all the way through, thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought of Daredevil Born Again season one. Let me know what you thought about this episode, and let me know your theories for next season. And also, if you're excited for that Punisher special feature. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned, because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.